Well, hello, beautiful souls. How's everybody doing today? Oh, it has been quite a week. Well, it's only, Tuesday now, or Monday. Monday, Tuesday? I can't remember the day. But from last week till now, it has been quite adventurous. But today, what I'd like to talk to you about is Kundalini, as always. And I also want to talk about depression because the Kundalini can cause depression, especially if you don't understand what's going on. And just so you know, I have a new backdrop, and one of my kitty cuddles has decided to come in and investigate it. So if you see it moving, that's what it's all about. But I thought I'd try something different, bring the outdoors in type thing. But what I really want to address is when you have the Kundalini, if you're not informed of what it is or some of the chaos that can come with it, it can really throw you into a downward spiral. And I'm very serious about this. And that is why I constantly carry on about having a support system. Because as soon as you can understand what's happening, you have knowledge and power, and you're slowly taking yourself back, but in a revised form, I guess. It's a hard thing to explain, but I find, especially now, the further into the Kundalini, the further of living the life, and especially what's going on in the world, it can really throw you for a loop. And it has been. It has seriously been, you know, um, just sending me squirrely. But not really in that bad of a way. Squirrely, bad way. It's just made me go deeper and deeper within myself to find out what's going on. How come I am not as fearful as people are right now? And right now, if anybody's watching this in the future, Russia, Ukraine, all this sort of thing. But what is putting the fear into people, and as we know, mainstream media and governments and all that like to bullshit you and make it worse than it is. They've been caught using clips out of films to say, oh, this is what's going on, or previous wars like in Bosnia, I think it was, a bombing, or a Belarus. They've used that again. But people have become wise to it after the CV thing. But uh, they're promoting fear. And that fear is sending the vibration like all wonky again, which people like us who have had the Kundalini, if we're not careful, it can throw our vibration out and we start having wobbles. Now, one of the things I've always maintained throughout my life is how important nutrition is for people who suffer from mental health issues. And this is just my opinion. I know some people are going to disagree with me. That is okay. Because again, this is my opinion. And it's also some experience I've had in life. Because I suffer from depression. And I fought my way out of it. And how I fought my way out of it was through nutrition, mindfulness, and this past few years, deep meditations, really becoming in tune with who I am as a person, my thought processes, my beliefs, my conditionings. And the moment I realized if I do not live in fear, my well-being is exponentially off the charts. And I'll take that any day than being depressed and living in that fear that they've tried to get us to live in these past few years with, again, the CV thing and all that good stuff. That will be, I think I've already got something on here about that. But, conspiracy theorists, and I put my hand up. I'm one of them. I'm definitely one of them because I look beyond what's going on. And I think that also helps my depression because I investigate it. I look into it. I'm not going to let something affect my well-being, without knowing why. And, I'll be damned if I'm going to let some news broadcast tell me a load of bullshit and use pictures that they got off Getty Images or, some movie or, or from a previous incident. No, no, no. You're not going to do that to me. I am going to stand up and take responsibility for my health and for my well-being. And if that means I need to go into a room for a couple days and close the door and just, be by myself in deep thought, meditation, whatever it takes, I will do that. But I just want to bounce back to the nutrition bit. That's where, you want to comfort eat. You want to get into things that make you feel good inside until after you have them, you don't feel good. And then that knocks you down again, another notch. And it becomes a vicious cycle. And it's very hard to break that vicious cycle. But if you can, you'll feel great. You'll start to come out of it. You'll go forward. Now, I've also said throughout my life that, once I hit rock bottom, brilliant, because I have nowhere else to go but up. And I just like, okay, come on, let's hit rock bottom really fast. Let's get on with this shit show. I want to get back up to where I was. And when it happens, boom, start going straight back up. But I've also noticed throughout time and throughout the years of maturing and growing is that when I get to those stages where I think, okay, come on, let's hit rock bottom really fast so I can, get on with life. Those moments of where I spiral out of control have become far and few between. But I also tell myself some very hard truths and ask some very hard questions, whether I want to answer them or not. When I start off on this, I think one of the biggest depressive things is having to go back into the office, even if it's for 2 days a week. It is a toxic environment. So was I having a patty or a wobble thinking, I don't want to go back in. I don't want to go back in. I haven't worn my glasses and I felt great. I haven't had a cold. And as soon as you walk into that place, it just makes you sick. It's like a cesspool of germs. And, well, just the toxicity of the people is enough to make you sick. I'll say the majority of them. There's a few really good people there. But was that my ego? Or was that, me having, at 56, a temper tantrum? I really had to face those truths and try and find out if that's exactly what was going on. And unfortunately, yes, that's exactly what was going on. Because I am moving forward in my life, I am transitioning, I'm working towards it. I just don't want to walk in and hand in my resignation and go, yeah, up yours, whoever. Because I still want that little bit of a security blanket. And that would be my paycheck. But I'm also going in knowing, and I had the epiphany that there is an end to this. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm only there for not much longer until I go forward and get this in place and start it moving. So having said that, it just lifted that black cloud. But sometimes it's not easy to lift that black cloud. And then you have to look at other things. But that's all down to personal experiences and how you think, how you process. But my ego, I'm telling you, sometimes I just get in the right smackdown with it because it wants to take the wheel. And I got to stop letting it take the wheel. But every now and then it grabs a hold of it. And that's when I have to say, no, I run the show, not you. And I feel better for it. I feel a lot better for it. And then my vibration starts to come back up and my energy levels start to come back up. Like, don't get me wrong, people. It is not easy having a Kundalini. It is, earth moving, and it changes your life forever. There's no shutting it off. But if you start fighting it, it's just going to be worse. And it's forcing you to do a multitude of things like eating properly, looking within yourself. And unfortunately, if you have depression, it could bring on more of that. But, hindsight's 50-50. All those episodes I went through before having my Kundalini, did it prepare me for this? Because I've already started the work way back when to get myself out of it. And it's done a world of good. And I just hope that, people, I'm not going to, I'd want to say instead of like getting on prescriptions and everything, which I really do want to say, but I won't because this again is just my opinion, that why can't we look at an alternative first? Instead of saying, okay, tick this box. Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you feel this way? What's your mindset? All this sort of thing. And you tick a bunch of boxes and it says, okay, you have blah, 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 depression. You're mildly depressed. You have anxiety. You're manically depressed. Why aren't they going in and saying, okay, let's look at your environment. Let's look at your nutrition. Let's look at what's going on in the world. There's going to be a shitload of people who are going to be suffering. And I hate to say it, we have lost on this earth some light workers because of what's going on in the world. And, well, that's for another video, that rant. I'll tell you how I think of that. This taking away our freedoms. And some people are all okay with that. That's great. But the people who cherish their freedom and their lives and the ability to grow and mature and become that spiritual being, become that loving person, that's a hard pill to swallow. No pun intended on that one. But, okay, people. The bottom line is we need to take responsibility for ourselves. Yes, we're going to get depressed. But you know what? Stop, take a look, go in depth, see what's going on. Try and find where that root is coming from. And I'd have to say 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, you're the cause of it. Now, you can blame it on anybody else, saying, like the government has done this, big pharmas have done this, my neighbor has done this, a relative has done this. You're in control. You don't realize it. And that's where you take your power back and realize that, bad things happen to good people and you choose how you react to that. Now you're going to say, what does that have to do with depression? A lot, because you're allowing it to happen through various means. Take control of it. Take your power and go, okay, I need to get my nutrients up. I need to get my magnesium up. I need to get my zinc up. I need to get this up. I need to look inside myself. I need to meditate. I need to quiet my mind somehow. It's not easy to quiet your mind. Mine's always going like 200 miles an hour. It's like, shut up, I've had enough of ya. But even if it means like laying there with earphones on, listening to music of some sort, getting lost in the music. I like to do yoga. I get totally lost in it because I'm focusing on how I'm positioned, how I'm breathing, what I'm feeling. you know, and I pull it all in, or I go meditate, and I always picture myself floating through space, just this space, and I can see the earth, and I'm sort of floating away, lifeless, well, not lifeless, lightness, like just do, 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 do. Off I go. And sometimes it could only be for like 30 seconds before something pops in my head, like the grocery list, you know, or, what cupboard am I going to clean next? And then bat it away and start again. But then sometimes I can go 15, 20 minutes of just totally floating around, and then if something is really on my mind or something is bothering me, I also picture myself in a bubble. And in this bubble, I take and I crunch up like a gray, and I put it into another bubble, and I push it out. And whatever's inside bugging me, then I can identify that's that grayness in that bubble going out as I'm pushing it away. And just picturing white light around me, doing what it takes to make myself feel better. And then that changes my environment around me. And a happy home, hey, it's a lot easier to live in this reality at the moment. I think that's another thing. This is going to sound totally out to lunch, but especially when you have the Kundalini or any awakening, any spirituality, you're living in two worlds. You're living in the happy new world, but you still got that one foot in the old world. Well, right now, the old world is imploding on itself. So, this all has to happen. So we need to learn how to deal with it and take it in stride and keep ourselves centered and keep our vibration up. So on that note, beautiful people, I am off here because I got a cupboard to go clean out. So everybody have an absolutely amazing, beautiful day. Bye-bye.